the last of the San Marzano tomatoes. There's lots that are green, and we are not gonna waste them. A few that are just trying, but this is the last day of oh, hello, little guy. I'll try not to disrupt your web. A few of these that are desperate to be picked before they just get rotten. So we're gonna pick them all, and we're gonna make some green tomato salsa. We're back in the house now. I have all of my beautiful green tomatoes, including these big heirloom beauties that didn't ripen. So we're just gonna use those two. They're so pretty, and the color is gonna turn out really, really pretty for our green tomato salsa. I'm gonna slice them in about inch slices. It doesn't really make too big of a difference. I have my chicken over there defrosting for dinner, one of our chickens. I'm going to chop up the tomatoes and throw them all in my little grinder, my food processor. That's the best way to do it. It's going to be pretty difficult if you hand chop them. So either do a food processor or do a blender, something that will chop everything really tiny. We like ours pretty small, not liquid, but also not chunks. So I'm going to chop these all up, take off the stem, of course. Don't worry about de-seeding them, and throw them in. I use the pulse feature on my food processor. Like I said, I don't like too big of chunks, but I also don't want it to be liquid either. So we're just going to slowly chop these up until we get the consistency that you are looking for, because this is for your family, so do it how you like. This is the consistency that I'm looking for, and so I'm going to chop all of my tomatoes to look like this. It's going to be 10 cups in total because I'm doubling my recipe. I'm going to throw those all into a huge stock pot that can fit them all, and other ingredients too. I'm going to use onions. In this case, the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of onions. I'm doing 3 cups, which is about 3 onions. You just need to chunk them up really big if you're using a food processor, and then throw them in so they can get chopped really, really tiny. My kids don't want to taste the big chunks of onion, and I kind of don't either, so I like my onions really small, kind of more minced. I'm going to throw those in my big stock pot. It's about 1 cup per onion, so think of it like a medium yellow onion is what I'm using per cup that I need. Here we're going to add the pepper. So this is going to be the spiciness, the hotness of your salsa, and it's totally up to you. I have this mix that I made from freeze-dried peppers of a bunch of different peppers from the garden, and I'm just going to sprinkle on a few of the Sugar Rush peach peppers, the same things I use that are really spicy in the last recipe, so be careful what you use. I'm using gloves because I burnt the heck out of my hands the last time I was handling peppers, and I am not doing that again. I'm going to sprinkle them on, and then I'm going to just taste the salsa here raw. So I'm going to see what it's going to taste like so that I can know if I need more or less peppers. Okay, insert a garlic maniac. I put 9 cloves into this recipe. That's a lot. I'm going to next add my organic lemon juice. It has to be bottled lemon juice for the acidity. And this is the type of lemon juice that I use for everything. The Santa Cruz Organic, I really like it, and it's refrigerated. Redmond salt, it's the only thing I use for baking, for pickling, for canning, for just any kind of cooking. We love the flavor. I'm going to put in my Redmond salt here. Next, I'm going to add a little pepper. I'm not a big pepper fanatic, so I'm just going to add a little bit for flavor. I'm going to get my cilantro ready next. Not everybody loves cilantro, and you can omit this recipe without the recipe changing at all. I love cilantro. I'm going to throw that into my recipe. I also love the pretty green color that it gives to the salsa. So I'm going to put that in. It's about a bunch, a full bunch, a cup. And remember, I'm doubling this. So you would put 1/2 cup of cilantro if you're just doing a single recipe, or about 1/2 bunch of cilantro. The organic cilantro is still fresh at my grocery store. This did not come from my garden right now because it's fall and it would be totally dead. Cilantro is kind of hard to grow in our climate. It doesn't like it really hot, and it doesn't like it cold at all. I'm going to mix this all together really, really well, and then I'm going to turn the heat on it. So I'm going to put the heat on, I'm going to bring it to a full boil, and then I'm going to simmer it for 20 minutes. After I get my salsa ready and it's simmered, I'm gonna fill my water canner. The salsa just needs to be water canned up to the height of the jars that you have. I'm using pint jars, and I'm going to fill the pint jars, which are already warm. Remember, warm product, warm jars. Everything has to be the same temperature or you'll get cracks. I'm gonna fill those up. Wipe the edges. I'm gonna put my lids on. Everything needs to be dry so you have a really good seal. So the seal needs to be dry and the rim around the jar needs to be dry. And I'm going to just screw on finger tight my lids here, and then I'm gonna throw them in the water canner. You want the water canner to be boiling, and that's when you start your time. I'm gonna put my salsa in the water canner, and then I'm gonna close the lid, and then I start my time of the water canning. After I have the lid jars in, I'm going to close the lid, and I'm going to set the water bath canner for 20 minutes. That's how long the salsa takes to can. I'm going to turn my heat off after the 20 minutes is over and take the lid off, and I'm going to have already prepared a dish towel on the counter is how I do it. An area out of the way that the jars won't get disturbed for 24 hours. I'm going to gently take each salsa out of the water bath canner. Remember, everything is very, very hot, so please be careful. And you are going to set each jar on the counter undisturbed. If you want some salsa to eat right now, that's totally fine. If you want to have it for dinner or chips and salsa, we like to eat it on eggs or on burritos or just with a spoon, you can do that. This is our green tomato salsa. You don't have to waste green tomatoes anymore. You have a way to use them, and it's so beautiful. Green tomato salsa tastes good on everything. It's really, really pretty as a gift or in a gift basket. This is how we ate it tonight on these yummy breakfast burritos, and we will see you guys on the next one.